One company, three wars, total air sovereignty. Witness the evolution of a giant that dominated the skies over Europe, Korea, and Vietnam, with machines that redefined what a warplane could do. Here's every North American aviation aircraft. Let's begin with fighters and interceptors. P-64, rare export fighter that ended up serving as a trainer. Only a handful were ever built, true collector's item in aviation history. It was a modified T-6 Texan trainer with shorter wings, a shorter fuselage, and a much bigger engine. P-51 Mustang, one of the greatest fighters of World War II, changed the air war over Europe by escorting bombers all the way to Berlin. Absolute game changer. The company designed and rolled out the prototype in just 102 days. F-82 Twin Mustang, unique long-range fighter, looking like two separate planes joined at the wing, saw heavy action during the Korean War as a night fighter. Next, FJ-1 Fury, very first jet aircraft operated by the United States Navy, paved the way for carrier-based jet operations despite a short service life. F-86 Sabre, true icon of the jet age, famously battled MiGs in the skies over Korea, proved that American engineering could dominate high-speed dogfights completely. F-86D Sabre Dog, all-weather version featuring distinctive nose radome, primary interceptor for the United States throughout the 50s. At its peak, the F-86D made up nearly two-thirds of the US Air Defense Command's frontline force, standing ready 24/7 to intercept Soviet bombers. Now this is the YF-93, experimental interceptor designed for high speed and heavy armament. Used unusual flush air intakes that were quite revolutionary for the time. Next, F-100 Super Sabre, first operational fighter capable of supersonic speeds in level flight. Became a workhorse during the early years of the Vietnam War. FJ-4 Fury, much more advanced evolution of the original design. Featured thinner wing and powerful engine, making it a capable attack aircraft. YF-107 Ultra Sabre, known for its unique air intake located right behind the cockpit. Incredibly fast, but lost out in competition to other designs. XF-108 Rapier, massive interceptor meant to defend against Soviet bombers. While it never went into production, its technology influenced many future aircraft designs. Then XF-V12, ambitious attempt at a vertical takeoff fighter for carrier use. Used complex wing duct system that unfortunately failed to provide enough lift. X-31, experimental craft exploring the limits of maneuverability. Used thrust vectoring to perform incredible turns that would be impossible for standard airplanes. Next on the list is bombers and attack aircraft. XB-21 Dragon, prototype medium bomber from the late 30s. Lost the competition to other designs, but showcased early innovations in defensive guns. Next, NA-40, prototype serving as the foundation for what would become the legendary B-25. Proved that twin-engine medium bombers could be very effective. A 27, specialized ground attack version of a popular trainer. Meant for Thailand, but ended up serving the United States during World War II. B-25 Mitchell, legendary medium bomber, famous for the Doolittle raid. Incredibly versatile and served in every theater of World War II with distinction. The next one, XB-28 Dragon, high-altitude medium bomber featuring pressurized cabin. This was a rare luxury at the time, only two prototypes were ever constructed. A 36 Apache, early dive bomber version of the famous P-51. Provided critical ground support during the North African campaign with precision strikes. B-45 Tornado, first jet-powered bomber to enter service with the Air Force. Marked a major transition in how the military approached strategic bombing. A.J. Savage, heavy carrier-based bomber, combining two piston engines with a jet engine in the tail. Gave the Navy its first nuclear strike capability. XA-2J Super Savage, experimental upgrade replacing the piston engines with powerful turboprops. Designed to carry heavy loads, but was overtaken by pure jet designs. A 5 Vigilante, sleek and powerful carrier-based bomber, later excelling as a reconnaissance platform. Its design was truly ahead of its time in every way. XB-70 Valkyrie, massive 6-engine experimental bomber designed to fly at 3 times the speed of sound. Only 2 were ever built. One was tragically lost in a 1966 mid-air collision during a photo shoot. The sole remaining Valkyrie is now the crown jewel of the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force in Dayton, Ohio. B-1 Lancer, heavy bomber, using variable sweep wings to balance high-speed flight with low-altitude penetration, remains a vital part of the global strike force. Now let's look at experimental and research aircraft. X-10, unmanned technology demonstrator for long-range missile programs. Featured sleek lines and proved that supersonic cruise flight was possible. X-15, rocket-powered research aircraft that shattered speed and altitude records. Flew to the edge of space and provided data for the moon landing missions. Next, HIMAT, highly maneuverable aircraft controlled remotely from the ground. Tested advanced materials and radical wing designs for future fighters. Next up, trainers. Up next, NA-16, aircraft that started it all for North American. Flexible design that could be configured as either a trainer or a light fighter. Then, BT-9, basic trainer, serving as a vital stepping stone for student pilots in the late 30s. Ancestor of many famous North American designs. T-6 Texan, known as the pilot maker, this trainer prepared thousands of pilots for combat. The T-6 is famous for being one of the loudest piston planes at any airshow, emitting a high-pitched metallic bark during takeoff. While most people think it's just a powerful engine, the sound is actually supersonic. BT-14, improved version of the basic trainer with metal-covered fuselage, offered better durability for the rigorous demands of military flight schools. NA-64, Yale. Originally built for the French Air Force, many ended up in Canada. Served as reliable trainer for Allied pilots during the war. NA-35, primary trainer prototype, designed to compete for military contracts. Featured simple construction, meant to be easy to mass-produce quickly. XSN-2J, experimental naval trainer intended to replace older models. Featured tricycle landing gear, but was not chosen for full production. Then, T-28 Trojan, powerful piston engine trainer used for decades by the Air Force and Navy. So capable, it even performed ground attack missions in combat. T-2 Buckeye, reliable jet trainer, teaching generations of Navy pilots how to land on carriers. It was the Navy's professor, training over 11,000 pilots across 5 decades, famous for being very forgiving and easy to fly. T-39 Sabreliner, sleek twin jet, starting as military trainer and transport before becoming successful business jet. Reliable and fast for multiple roles. Finally, we have observation and utility. GA-15, early design effort aimed at the observation market, represented the company's early exploration of military aviation requirements. O-47, observation aircraft featuring large glass belly for spotting ground targets, used heavily for coastal patrols in the early 40s. Navion, beautiful 4-seat aircraft originally designed for civilian use. The military used it for light transport because of its excellent performance characteristics. OV-10 Bronco, versatile observation and light attack aircraft. Designed to operate from short, rugged clearings and provided excellent visibility for the crew.